Hi there, welcome to my video tutorial on basics of Photoshop. So this is primarily used for the communications technology class, and it's just going to go over how to bring in an image into Photoshop and put some text on it. I am creating this because I think it'll be useful for your assignments that are going to be revolved around advertisements or poster creations. This will be awesome to know because it'll bring in high-res images, which won't affect your printing. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to open Photoshop. You'll be brought to a screen similar to this, and you're going to click Open, and then you're going to find where you stored your image. So I had previously stored mine in Desktop under Images, and it is right here. I got this image from Pexels, which is a royalty-free high-res image site. You can download images for free there, and these are awesome for printing because nothing's going to get distorted in the mix. So, as you see, I imported it in. It'll show up in its highest resolution of the image, so I think this one's about 2.5 gigabytes. And we're going to see that it's labeled as background. So the way that we're going to change this is we're going to hold down the Alt button and you're going to double click. This makes it into a layer. So the reason why I created it into a layer is so I can kind of manipulate the image a little bit more to my own customizations. If you like the image, great, you can keep it as it is. But this is just for those people that think, oh, I can do a little darker or a little lighter. So after you bring it in as a layer, you can rename it whatever you want to. I renamed it Book, and you can add an adjustment to it. So in these adjustments, you can bring the brightness up, the contrast up, the saturation. So we're gonna just play with the curves here. So the curves kind of play with the luminosity of the image. So I can bring this down and bring this up, just so it's a little bit more clear and it just has that punch to it. If I want to bring text onto it, I would click the text button over here on the side. And as you see, because my image is so large, my font size is going to be large. So I have this onto Babas. And let's say I'm creating a mini poster for a book. I'm going to say, let's say start an adventure, and then you're going to want to add another font onto that just to make it pop. So let's say Pacifico, one chapter at a time. There we go. So, oops, make sure you click the arrow move button so we can play with it more. If you want to have more control over the layers, you're going to go and click in them over here. So lots of friends forgets that. But if you think, oh, this can go larger, you can double click and put in your own font if you like. So you can play around with it as you like, but when I go to save it, I'm going to go File, Save As. So here you can see where you want to save it. So I want to save it under Images so I know exactly where it is, but I don't want to name it the same thing because that was the previous name and it's going to save over. So let's say I put Book Final. So if you think you're going to edit it later, it's a good idea to save it as a Photoshop file because that allows you to keep this in place. But if you think this is it, I'm done, you can go to JPEG and save it as a JPEG. So when you click save, it's going to bring up this box. You are going to bring this down if you think you wanted a lower resolution, but the quality is not going to be as great. And the higher you go, the larger the file will be. And in this case, we're going to make sure it's on baseline standard. Then you click OK, and it'll save. And then you have it. It should be on your desktop after that.